Welcome to Lupita's Kitchen. Tonight we have a wonderful meal planned for you. Beautiful recipe. I was born in Mexico and I was born in the state of Zacatecas, which is 500 miles north of Mexico City. All the states, as in here in the United States, we have different recipes. So I will be cooking the one that I'm more familiar with, the one that I grew up with. In front of me, you see all the ingredients that I'll be using. First of all and foremost, depending on how many people you're going to cook for, I usually start with 1 pound of lean ground beef. Make sure it's really fresh, okay? Next, you will need, depending on how many people you're going to serve, you can either buy 1 dozen or 3 dozen of the beautiful corn tortillas. Make sure that they're fresh, all right? If you feel them, they're a little bit hard, that means that they're old. So dig underneath the pile and get those fresh ones, all right? Next, I have chopped up onions, chopped up tomatoes, and I'm gonna use a big onion. I'm gonna peel it. First of all, I washed it, I will peel it, and then I will dice it. And I will show you later on how to do it. Also, a nice big carrot, you wash it first, and I will be peeling it and also dicing it very, very small, because all of these ingredients will be in the meat itself. Now, I've also picked 2 of these packets. You can only use 1 depending on how much meat you're going to use. Now, this is a quick trick that I use when I'm running out of time. This is all the spices that you will be needing, all right? And it tells you what all the ingredients are in the back. And it also tells you how to prepare your meat. Now with my recipe, I add vegetables with it, which are the carrots and the onions and the potato. All right, so you will also need a little bit of the beef broth. This recipe calls to use water on your mix. I use a little bit of beef broth instead. It gives it a beautiful taste. You also use olive oil or granola oil, all right? So I will be starting to prepare the vegetables first, and then we'll continue on with preparing the meat and frying the meat, okay? So let's take a little break right now and let me start preparing the vegetables, all right? As you can see, I always use a bowl to put any of my leftover peels. It just makes it so much easier to clean up. I clean up as I go along when I cook. And as you can see, this is a nice, firm, fresh potato. And it's gonna make it absolutely wonderful, wonderful with the finished product. Now be careful when you're peeling, because some peelers are really sharp. And I always give it a second rinse, as you can see. Right now, I'm going to start cutting it. I'm going to cut it in half, so I won't have to deal with, and another part here, so I won't have to deal with so much. And I cut it, and I'm very careful not to cut my fingers. As you can see, I cut it in 3/4, then I cut it some more, and then I cut it some more. I put it aside, then I use the next piece, and I cut it. Cut some more, and I cut some more, and I cut some more. As you can see, I've cut all the potatoes in nice little pieces. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some water in them. I'm going to soak them for at least 15 minutes. And you say, well, why are you soaking potatoes? because when you soak them with water, it brings out all the starch. And all you have left are the vitamins. So we'll just let it sit here for 15 minutes while I cut up the carrot. How does that sound? Good. Are you with me so far? We've been using a lot of ingredients, so I'm going to be very, very methodical about it so you can jot them down, right? So I'm going to put this one aside because I'm going to use the strainer later on. Okay, I cut the, remember, I wash it already, but I want to wash it again because it's a fresh carrot, straight from the farm. This way you get all your vitamins, your vitamin C, your potassium from the carrots. Really, a taco is a very nutritious meal. All right, we'll put those aside. And then I will cut them very small at first. And then I will cut them again. This way they'll be able to cook along with the meat and the potatoes. There you go. See? They're very small. And try to get them the same size. This way your meal, your ingredients will actually cook evenly together. And everything will be prepared and ready at the same time. And be careful, always be careful with a knife. You can even put them in two here, and then just watch your fingers. As you can see, the carrots are very even. Oops, I just dropped one on the floor, but we'll leave it there. They're all even. And boy, are they ever fresh. We'll put that aside for a minute or two. Okay, get that there. Now, I have to pull up my sleeves. As you can see, the water is a little bit murky, and that's all the starch that's coming out. And you can rinse it again and soak it some more. But we're kind of on a time limit right now, so I'll put these aside for right now. Make sure they're dry. Give them a good little space here to jump up and down. And we'll just put them to one side, okay? Let them do their job right now. And now we're going to prepare the meat. You can use a big skillet, a frying pan, or a small one. But since I'm just going to cook the 1 pound of meat, I'll cook them on this deep one. Okay. So let's put some oil, and we'll take a tablespoon. Take a tablespoon. All right. And make sure you spread it around. Make sure it's even. Okay, see how it's covered from the bottom? Now, I know the meat has a little bit of fat in it, but you can't rely on that. You have to put a little bit of oil, so this way it won't burn. And we're going to unpackage the meat. Be very careful with the scissors now. Not scissors, I'm sorry, the knife. Okay, now you're going to piece it together. here, just like this. You could tell it's fresh. You can also go to your butcher shop and ask for them to give you fresh ground, and they'll do it in front of you. Now I'm going to wash my hands again. Make sure that you wash your hands frequently when you cook. Now that we have the meat in the saucepan, we shake our broth. Always shake the liquid, because sometimes the residents here or more salt, pepper, it's always hot at the bottom, so you give it a good shake. And open it up. And you're going to measure 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup. Am I ready? One more. There you go. A little bit of that. We're going to put it down. And then we're going to pour in the spice. Make sure it's mixed really well. Put this aside. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. I think it's thoroughly mixed right now. So we're going to pour it into the saucepan along with the meat. Make sure you take all the ingredients out, because that's the good part. Okay? Now my stove cooks really fast, so I didn't turn it on ahead of time. But right, now just mix it a little bit. I always use a wooden spoon because I love it. So I'm going to start my flame at high. First, you want to sear the meat. Make sure it's hot first. Kind of watch it so you won't burn it, and then we'll simmer it. Now, as you can see, it's really hot. So what you do is lower the flame to medium, right? And make sure periodically that you stir your meat. Oh, the aroma is so wonderful. Now you put in your carrots. Just toss them in there. And now you put in your onions. Toss them in there. Okay. And then you toss in your tomatoes. And don't forget your potatoes. Now I'm just going to use, I'm going to make sure that I stir them first before I put any more potatoes in them. Now I'm going to put the rest of the potatoes. And this was 3 cups of potato. And you can use less if you wish. And just fold it in, fold it in. Make sure all the ingredients are mixed really well. And I'm going to go ahead and toss the rest of the potatoes. Always clean up after myself. All right, now I know that all the ingredients are mixed together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the flame to where it'll be on low. And then you put a cover, the lid, and you close the lid. Depending on how much steam you want, you can take out the little vent, I call it, but you want the meat to steam, so let's close it. And I just watch it for a while, and I mix it every once in a while, and you will see the finished product, all right? The meat has been on now for about 5-10 minutes, so 5 minutes, so now I need to stir it, all right? And as you can see, the beautiful color of all the ingredients in here. And it's still moist, it still has plenty of liquid. So we're going to up the flame a little bit higher to medium. So we'll just let it cook for a while, and then we'll stir it for another while.
Okay.
It's been 5 minutes, so now we need to stir it again, all right? And you can see it's just almost ready. Not quite, the potatoes are still a little bit hard, so, but can you see the beautiful meat? Oh, I wish you were here because it smells absolutely delicious. And you can see that they're still liquid, so that's what you want. You want it to be moist, because after it is done, you'll have less moisture, but that's what you want also. So let's cover it up again and let it simmer. I'm going to stir it one more time. As you can see, it's boiling now. That means it's cooking, and I'm going to have to lower the flame because it's beginning to stick to the pan. So I don't want that. So we're going to have to lower the flame, and I believe 10 more minutes and it should be completely cooked. You don't want your beef to be undercooked because it'll make you sick. So you want it cooked. Okay. Nice, well cooked. So another 10 minutes and it should be ready to be rolled into some tacos. Okay. As you can see, the meat is done. It is absolutely wonderful. The potatoes are nice and soft, and so are the carrots. So it is finished. We turn this off. We let it sit for a minute.
How long has it been on?
It's been on 35 minutes.
25.
25 minutes, sorry.
Okay.
Well, that is being covered just like that. I'm going to prepare. Let's just put this one to one side. I'm going to prepare the frying skillet. And I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of oil. Get my glasses. Here's 1 and 2. I might put 3 and 3. Make sure that the skillet is covered with oil. Because this is where you're going to fry your tacos, your tortilla. Just put this here, and we will move this again. Let me set it there. Let me turn it on again to low first. I'm going to do a low flame. Let it heat up a little bit. We'll wait 5 minutes for it to heat up. Now, as you can see, I opened up the package of tortillas, and because they're not warm, you put them in your microwave for 10 seconds, no more. 10 seconds, because they have to be heated up a little bit. Now we take it out. You see, they're nice and warm. And now I'm going to take them. Remember, your hands are always washed. They're not ready yet. So I'm going to turn them over. Do another 10 seconds. Whoa, I think they're too hot now. All right, so, they are hot now, right? All right, so I'm going to put the meat in here, just like that, and just fold it just like this, like a half moon, and make sure that you have toothpicks on hand. The reason for this is you cover each end, so when you fry them, the meat won't spill onto the grease. Okay, be very careful that the grease doesn't splatter on you. And I'll do the same thing for the second one. See how nice and smooth the meat is? And you can always add salt to your own taste after your taco is cooked and fried. You can always put more salt. I always let my guests use their own salt. Now we just let them sit to fry for a couple of minutes. Depending if you want a soft taco, you take them out. If you want a fried taco like I do, crispy, I let it sit a little bit more on the oil. Remember, all this is healthy oil. You can use grape oil, granola oil, or sunflower oil. You see how crispy they're getting? And if you're cooking for a big crowd, you might use a bigger skillet. You turn it over. This is not done yet. I like them nice and crispy. Turn them over. I think this is done. So I'll turn off my heat. And I'll put them here to collect the grease, the oil. Just like that. And remember to take out the toothpicks. You don't want your guests getting anything in their teeth or in their getting hurt with a jagged tooth. Okay, now we do this again, and now we're going to have some cheese. You can use a little spoon for this. Get your grated cheese. You can also cut up an avocado and make a slice and put it in your taco if you wish. You have some nice spinach, or isn't that beautiful? Or lettuce, any kind of lettuce. Oh, these are beautiful. When we were growing up, my mom always had this for a snack, for an after school snack, because it has a lot of protein in it. Isn't this great? This is a wonderful quick meal. There you go. And buen provecho. That means to your health. Oh, delicioso.
Okay.
This is so wonderful, but you know what? I didn't have time to make hot sauce. But you know what? You can cheat a little and buy this. All stores carry it. And it comes, if you want it really, really hot, they carry it hot, medium. So mine is hot because I like my spice on my tacos. So I'm going to cheat because I didn't have time to make the homemade salsa. That'll be for another time, okay? But I'm going to put some sauce on mine. Oh, I can hardly wait. I'm going to finish this, all right? Here we go. Oh. It's not too hot. It's wonderful. I have to put this down because I cannot talk with a mouthful of food. That's not very polite. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us and we'll be glad to respond to you. And again, buen provecho. Thank you.